Hello lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today we're discussing My Dark Desire, and by discussing I'm going to give a quick recap because I want to read the new Hunger Games book and I keep putting it off because I haven't finished this, but I've just finished it. So let's go over the details. Our two main characters, Faye and Zach. Faye also goes by Fallow is her full name, but also is called Octi by Zach the entire novel, which I adore. I love their relationship and their character growth. In terms of this book, what it is, it's a dark romance retelling of Cinderella. I love the Cinderella references in here. You can really see it. And if you want more in-depth, of what's gone on in the book, I would suggest watching my reading, My Dark Desire. It gives so much more information because I'm doing a blanket review almost. But anyway, there is so much character growth between these two that I love it so much. I love the way that you can see the change in the way they view the world, themselves, how they express themselves, and their emotions throughout the book. I love how they develop and change. The plot twistings were plot twisting. I was not expecting, literally, I was knew something was going to happen, and I knew right where the dots were connecting to, but I didn't know they were going to throw in an extra chess piece. It's like when you're playing chess and you think you've got everything sorted, but then someone gets a pawn to the other side and swaps it out for another piece, and it's I was not expecting that kind of situation. I really love how when their deal is over, she goes, I love you, but I need time away from you to work out why I love you and who I am without you or someone else, because she needed that processing time. I love how Zach kind of realised what he wanted in life in this process and had to go on a round the world trip / manhunt for his own mother and fiance. The fiance is extremely insane, but like with all my books, I say these characters just need therapy. They all just need therapy. The amount of books I've read where they all have the funds or the ability to access therapy within the world they're in, they could all easily access it. Do they? No. Seriously, just go to therapy. Some days a week it is just very simple of, you just need to go to therapy for a little bit. Just go to therapy. But anyway, the overall plot line is that Faye is fighting her stepmother for all the stuff she sold off and the company that her late father owned, and the rights to all her stuff, because her stepmother has taken them all and has put through a false will that excludes Faye from having nearly anything from the will. Zach is severely traumatized child. We learn this in the prologue. But severely traumatized child, does not have any emotions, and is getting engaged / married just to appease his mother. Our first interaction of them two together we have is Faye sneaking into Zach's house to steal the pendant that the mum sold off, which is the matching pendant that Zach's father had before he died. So Zach has them both now. Faye wants to pendant back. She breaks into the ball, which is to find Zach's fiance. If you can tell where the Cinderella plot line is coming from, you can clearly see. But anyway, he is hiding away because he doesn't want to be there. He hates socializing. They meet. They play a game of Go for 3 hours. Instead of dancing, they're playing Go. And if you don't know what Go is I think Korean or maybe Chinese checkers. I'm not quite sure. I know it's the East Asian version of checkers. I'm not quite sure. Someone double check me on that. But anyway, they're playing Go. He realises that she's trying to steal the dagger, trying to steal the pendant. So he chases her out and say, either play game Go or I'm going to chase you and arrest you. And she's like, no, runs. Did I forget to mention that she is has the potential to be an Olympic fencer, but that all went to haywire. And we find out that later on in the book. But anyway, that's the kind of situation. Anyway, Zach later finds her because she leaves a shoe at the house when she's fleeing, and he tracks her down with said shoe, and it's just I have this shoe. And basically they strike up a deal. He's like, I'll help you defeat your evil stepmother if you work for me as a cleaner, but exclusively for me as a cleaner, and continue our game of Go in the meantime. And that's kind of where we are. And basically the book is developing a relationship, helping each other grow as individuals, which I really love. Because they don't actually start out a very strong relationship, because Zach has a giant phobia of touching people. I mean, he hates touching people, but also he's very disconnected from his feelings and his emotions. So as he's getting to know Faye, he's very conflicted within himself because he doesn't know what he's feeling. And also he does not know how to act with these feelings, so it makes him very possessive, very fast. So he gets upset when people are mistreating her or trying to like touch her in the way of, they might take her away from me, but I don't know that I don't want her to be taken away from me. And I feel like this is it very much explains the complex levels of Zach through his point of view. But anyway, he is engaged to this woman who's mentally insane because she does not have a personality. She literally molds herself like clay to fit Zach to what she believes would be the ideal person. The mum refuses to accept Fallon. She's just like, that's a woman. You can have a side piece. And I'm just like, or just let him be with a person he can actually physically touch, you know, because he hasn't touched anyone since he was 8 years old. But anyway, you should read the book, And anyway, and that's kind of what the gist of the book is. I don't want to say too much because I want you to actually go genuinely read it, because I genuinely really enjoyed this book. I would personally give it a 4 out of 5. I like to rate books within the premise of what they are instead of like an overall rating compared against other books, because like if I was comparing it against like a Jane Austen or like classic literature, this would be like a 2, because this is very chick flick. This is a romanticized version. It's like a chick flick of Cinderella with trauma, but dark. And not dark in the way of the original Cinderella, dark in the way of romance. And I feel like comparing, I'm getting distracted. Anyway, I'm going to give like, for the book, its tropes are enemies, kind of like enemies to lovers, workplace romance, because Zach is technically her boss and she's technically an employee, even though they do not have that relationship really at all, at any point in the book really. Age gap. The girl is 23, the guy is 33. This would be a mature adult romance, a dark romance, a billionaire romance, and a retelling, because there are very strong plot points in here that draw directly from the Cinderella retelling, and you get slight whiplash every now and again from pop culture references. The 2 main ones I caught in this was a direct out-of-back one with a hashtag. We don't need to be putting hashtags in our books, ladies and gentlemen, please. I don't know what L.J.Shen and Parker S.huntington was thinking of this, but we don't need hashtags in books. No. And then also, one of the scenes really gave me Saltburn vampire vibes, but like they went a bit too far. I'm all for doing whatever you want to do, but as long as it's kind of at least a little bit hygienic, especially from a guy who's like very overly hygienic. And I'm just like, yeah, it's to show that he no longer cares about that stuff and that he's growing as an individual, but that's not growth. That's like completely breaking someone and inserting a new personality trait into them. So no thank you. Yeah. I just feel sorry for the other staff after that scene, because if they went in the kitchen, just no. Just that scene is But anyway, personal opinion on that one. Would I recommend this book? I would say yes. I recommend all books, but I feel like you would like this book if you like dark romance, but you don't want a too heavy one. If you like characters that have trauma, because they are, especially male main characters. If you like character growth from the main male character as well, because I feel like a lot of dark romance books don't have that much of complex or like very developed through lines of male characters where they develop and change over the course of the book. It's normally the female, so I really like this book. It is a dual POV, and I feel like people who liked Disney when they were younger but want a darker version of it may enjoy this book as well. But that's all I have for you today. I'm now going to go read the new Hunger Games book, because look how beautiful she is. This is going to be my next read. I love this book. I did an entire track for this book. You should go watch the video on that as well. But anyway, that's all for today. I hope that you like this review. Anyway, that's all. So go read.